Alright guys, welcome back to the channel Techado again. And yesterday's video was taken out within like an hour of launch, just because a lot of you guys were writing me, why did I take out the video? Well, I had made a lot of mistakes, and thanks to a lot of awesome viewers out here that actually watched the video, and I was reading the whole material wrong. So from the beginning to the end, it was just mistakes. So I redid the whole video and redid some other factors, which in my previous video was actually correct. I kept those factors into it. So let's go to our desktop live scene, and I'm going to share you what I'm talking about. So at first, let's go to stream watching, and that way you can see the specs and all that stuff. So at first, these three are not three different cards. These three are three different stadiums that you can choose from. So whenever you see that blue thing near, that means you have selected it. Otherwise, on a computer, you would not be able to know. On your phone, it's pretty easy. And you have to select stadiums according to your Pegas stats, which means that, for example, I have an Epic Max, which is an Epic, and Max is 29.33%. Max actually jumped to 29.33% from a 27%, just by making sure Max races in a very suitable kind of a stadium. So what is the suitable stadium for Max? In this scenario, Max's suitable stadium is water, because that's where its strength lies. It has got 8 water. Now, to check out Max's stats to the decimal or to the point, I'm going to use another tool which you guys already know. It's called PEGAXY.tech. So let's see Max's NFT number. So Max's NFT number is 762587. Very interesting fact, I chose Max because for Max I was checking him out in different stadiums. So you're going to see this, that Max is having water of 7.83 and today's stadium is 8.19. So this is my highest strength, so that's the reason I'm going to put it on water stadium. That's how you have to select the stadiums. Second stuff that you have to select the stadiums is in a scenario where these are all carefully chosen in different risk scenarios. For example, you're having a Pega that is having high wind and high water, and today for some reason you're seeing that there's fire, there's lightning and water. And if there was a scenario where there was wind and water together in a stadium, I would have chosen wind stadium. Why? Because it has got higher wind. So I would choose wind stadium rather than water stadium. But since today I do not have any other option, unfortunately I have to put Achilles in water stadium. So does that mean that it's going to lose all of its matches? No, it's not going to lose all of its matches. It's just that if you take Achilles and put into a fire stadium, Achilles is going to suffer. For that, I have a test or a proof of work for you, which is going to be up here. I did this proof of work since yesterday. So same stat as Achilles. This is Achilles stats, 7 and win. Now, if I run this Pega in a lightning stadium where lightning is 1, you will see that it did not win any race at all. But the moment I took the same Pega to a different stadium, which is going to be 8.45, because that's suitable for him, which is going to be a wind stadium, you will see that it started winning one after the other. It came back to its same 50% win rate. Before than that, it dropped to 48% of win rate, just because it was not running in the correct stadium. So that's how you have to select. If you see wind, water, fire and lightning, these are the 4 attributes you're going to watch. If out of this 4, your wind or your water is the highest, select the highest, and you're going to match that with the stadium's highest attribute. As simple as that. Now comes another part of the video. The second part of the video is going to be trying to find out how is strength and speed actually affecting the race. To do that, there's something that we use which is called JSON data. Now, this is a core JSON data of, let's, for example, select the same pega that we are looking at, not a different pega, so that you guys are not confused. You can convert this into like a CSV file and everything. You will see that in this whole line, you cannot see anything, any information about stats or stadium stats or anything. It is just position and rewards. So a lot of us in the community, even though I have posted this in PEGAXY's Discord, as you can go out here in Guilds United, I've already said that anyone has linked with new JSON data. For some reason, the stadium seems like the old one endpoint is just not showing up position and rewards. So they told me to write it in tools and API. I already wrote in tools and API. So let's go to tools, API, and devs. And you will see out here also people are facing the same problem. They're writing the same thing, that there is some problem that is happening with the API data right now. A lot of people are not recognizing it. During my test, it returns not found as a response. So it is not found as a response. The reason why, because what they're doing is that they are not messing around with the stadium data set points, which means that if you are racing, so for example, I select Achilles in wind and I start this. I have to confirm this. Yeah, I know, I have to confirm on my ledger. Hold on a second. Should have kept it like, should have done this before. Actually, as a matter of fact, reshot this and I forgot to turn on my microphone. And later on inspection, I found out that my microphone is not on. I was like, good job. Good job. Getting old, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So what is happening is that, so this, just reminding you this, that just because we have not been finding data for the last 2 or 3 months, we do not know right now what is the current status of strength and speed, whether they affect or not, because stadiums are divided into lightning, fire, wind, and water. This has become one of the core elements for the game. And maybe speed and strength is just an additive factor or a secondary factor for you to win or place yourself or position yourself. So in this stadium, you'll see 8.19 is its water, and I have 7. I could not place it anywhere else. Why? Because my wind is 9 and I cannot put it on a stadium that has lightning and fire or anything. So I have to put it on a water stadium. Maybe these data sets are not changing. They are remaining the same across all the tracks. So maybe that is the reason it's not giving us a game API endpoint. I do not know about this, but it is what it is. You know, like, I mean, that is what it is. Not it is what it is, but that is what it is. Will this control mint? I mean, definitely you would see a change in mint, but once the, like everybody figures this out, they more or less will be able to, control all the stuff. But there are a lot of scenarios, like yesterday there was a scenario where, I could not race my epic. I just do not want to give away my win percent so that I can win 1 gold or 1 silver. I cannot bring down my win percent from 31%, making my Pegas race in a wrong stadium. What do I mean by that? Let's show you something. Let's go to my assets. So out of this, you will see that there is one of my Pegas that actually does not have anything. So yeah, my epic max. Okay, so let's go and check this out. In epic max, the problem with max is that max cannot race in lightning, max cannot race in fire, max cannot race in wind. So max can only race in water. And yesterday there was no water stadium for me. It was 2 lightning, 1 wind. So Max was not winning at all. So it's better for me not to make Max suffer on a stadium and bring down the win percent of that particular pega. So yes, for someone who is writing in the comment like every single time that this is not going to affect mint, this is not, they are not thinking that this is going to affect mint on a counterproductive way, in a different way. It's not a direct effect or direct approach of mint. It is a different way of approaching the mint solution. So yes, it has a potential. There might be people that are just racing this pegas the old school way without knowing how the stadium works. Yes, they are losing a lot of, they are losing a lot. They're bringing their win percent, which is very critical for later on to sell your pegas out for that same value that you bought for. Because a lot of the time, even though a lot of people say that stats matter and all that stuff, people look into win percent in their marketplace. They see the history of how many races that horse has rated. That's how universally how it works. So yes, it is going to affect the mint. Maybe the changes will be seen in a week or so, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but this is a logical reasoning. That's what I'm doing. And that comment actually annoys me to the core, that you do not understand why I am saying that this is going to negatively impact minting. It might not be controlling it, but it will definitely affect minting. We'll wait and see. Yesterday, I did show you guys and was telling that this is going to control mint, but apparently there was more burn. Mint more or less remained the same because people are figuring this out. So I am not seeing any, change in mint yet, but it's too early because the update was dropped like a day before or 2 days before. So it's too early to talk about mint right now. So apparently the person who is commenting in the comment section that, whatever I said is wrong, maybe he's winning right now. But in the future, we are going to see within a week or so how this minting pattern actually changes. So that's it, folks. I'm not going to stretch this episode more than what it is required. I showed you proof. I showed you proof of work. I even showed you through JSON data where we check each and every line. You can actually do this yourself. All you have to do is copy that API, and your endpoint, you have to see whether you're seeing at any stats. So speed, strength, these two factors are not disclosed, and I cannot see any sort of stadium stat. This usually gives us stadium strats. With the stadium strats, I compare all the attributes of pegas to the stadium stats. So in this chart, there should have been stadium stats. I have seen a lot of people are doing correlation with the speed, water, and these track attributes. This is what they're doing. But that is not how you do it. That is, I would say then you're doing a work which is not required, because it is completely understandable that if you have a higher water, you have to race on a water stadium. If you have the highest lightning, you're racing on a higher lightning stadium, whichever one is highest. So for example, Pabosheki, right? Pabosheki is actually this guy, yeah. This guy, this is a pacer. This is interesting. In this scenario, I have got 9 lightning. I have got 8.93 fire. Where would I rather race? Now, I can race on both tracks, on both stadiums, 9 and 8.93. If you want to play around, you can play around with these two. But your higher chance of success would be, again, on that lightning track. Why? Because it matches, or it's very close to your pega stats. That's what you're matching. That will be it from the channel Techado. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. Not that kind of a person who will say, no, I did not make a mistake, even though I had made a mistake. It's a very common fact that I was trying to overcomplicate. Maybe, I was trying to think it in a different way. If you guys want, I do not see any purpose of doing this, but if you guys want, I can literally go to PEGAXY Tech and try to make a correlation chart between speed and strength compared to like the track attributes, but it is kind of sketchy because every week these attributes will be different. So I mean, it should probably take me like another 2 weeks or 3 weeks to go through all the tracks that's available. But again, it's purposeless in that particular point, because then apart from winning, you are asking me to show you basically what is the highest percentage of chances you have to get first place. That speed and strength actually denotes that. Speed and strength basically will denote you your position in that win percent between third, second, and first position. So at first, what we are going to do is that we are going to play the game the way we have showed it to you. Select either or, whichever stadium matches to your stats. Do not run it in a wrong stadium. So for example, lightning, you have one. Do not run it on lightning. As you can see, you will not win. If you have higher wind, take it to the wind stadium, and then as you can see on the right hand side, your chances of winning is more. Just because my one is a 50%, it's a meta pega, you might not have a meta pega, but you'll be still winning on wind stadium way more if you have higher wind. So remember that fact. And that will be all from the channel Techado. Write me down in comments below, what else do you want me to see? Do you want me to go through the effort of finding out what is the chances of you to win the first position in a particular stadium? Well, if you want it, I will see I can do it or not, because right now with PEGAXY sitting at 0.18, for me to even waste time of more than 2-3 days, it's just purposeless, because I have got other stuff coming up, which is Rebel Bots. I've got Sunflower Land coming up. I've got other projects coming up that I'm also working on side by side. So thank you for understanding from yesterday. And I am super happy that a lot of you guys were super focused on the video. You guys had mentioned in comments that, well, I think this is not true. I think what you're talking is not true. Well, thank you for doing that, because that is constructive criticism. I love constructive criticism, because that showed me that yesterday that, okay, I made a mistake. I need to figure this out. So thank you. Goodbye. Sayonara. Signing off.